Okay, it's not too bad. I mean, didn't want to film all the messing around, but basically because it's spring loaded, you need to sort of use a screwdriver and push in a bit to get to put some pressure against the springs to get the screw to thing. You don't have to turn too hard once you've done that, but it does take a bit of force to bend those screws, so they're spring loaded. Next thing is just to get the fan back up there. This fan shroud is just basically sitting around the radiator. It's not like a tight fit or anything, but it should be good. And that ends up being kind of cooling for the whole thing. So we'll tighten these guys a bit. Again, because it's spring loaded, I think you don't have to go too tight. Obviously you want to have a firm connection with the CPU, but you don't want to crank it. So really the pressure is coming from the springs rather than the screws. It looks pretty good. Like it's all the way into the motherboard and it feels very sturdy. So that looks good. So if you can see that again, that's in view, but here we go, just screwed in 4 screws. It's in, you know, not your usual AMD heatsink, that's for sure. It's more like an Intel one in that case. So we've got the RAM in and the CPU, and I'm going to go get the graphics card and also an eSATA card and put those guys in. So here we have some of the stuff we're going to put in. There's an eSATA card, I just happen to have it. It's also got an extra SATA connector inside as well. Not that you need it. I believe this has quite a few already. It's got at least 2, but I think it's got yeah, it's got 3. So pretty good to go. Also, it's got I'm going to use this, although it's white-faced. This is a DVD, an old one. It's actually an IDE connector, so the good thing is I'll reuse that. So just for now, I'll probably take it out. I don't think I could handle having that white face in there on such a nice system, but it'll do us for now, probably till we get a Blu-ray. Here's the graphics card I'm going to use. This is a pretty old one. This is a 4670 ATI. Well, by gigabyte, but it's an ATI 4670. It's not bad actually. The key thing is it's got HDMI output, sound and video, and that's what I plan to use to hook it up to the TV. Try and you know, try it out as a home theater PC, at least initially. And this would be a perfect card for that. Runs pretty quiet, and it's fairly powerful. So first things first. Open up the back and take off the PCI covers. What do we want to call these things? Expansion slot covers. What's interesting is that this part is on the outside, which typically on a lot of, you know, obviously other systems it's on the inside. I guess that saves a few millimeters of space. Maybe a bigger screwdriver there. And so, you know, typically I wouldn't bother with the eSATA card, but I have that extra, so it can't hurt. So the gate comes up. This is quite a nice design, I think. So I need to take both of those out. Let me get those out and then I can show you closer. It's got this little flip up thing, and then you can put your expansion cards in there. It's very nice. Here's the eSATA card we saw before. The good thing is it's pretty low profile, so I'm hoping that doesn't get in the way. Shouldn't. Not that we really need it, but you never know. eSATA it's much faster than USB, so if you don't have USB 3, you have eSATA, so plenty fast. If you decide to put an external hard drive or do a backup or something like that. quite sitting properly. Probably better looking like this, so you can see what's going on the inside. But I need to make that fit. There's a little slot for it down there. Not quite lined up with it, I think. See underneath here. There we go. Nice. So it'll be nice and firm in there. There's our eSATA card there. And we'll put it now for this. The other models you can put in a bigger graphics card, even double wide graphics card in some of the other ones. This one has the PCI Express slot right out furthest out this way. A lot of the other ones have it the other way. So you can only do a single width card. Now this is a single, single width card, I guess is what they call them. So this is no problem for these older school ones, but obviously the newer ones are double width and they wouldn't fit in this kind of case. But I think it's overkill for, you know, home theater, or even, you know, this thing can do 3D games pretty well as well. So we'll put that in as well. We can get it in there. Again, it's just the cables that are in the way at the moment, and we can clean those all up later. Again, it seems to be fitting alright. Now you probably wouldn't want to go any wider than this. As you can see, that fan is going to be fairly close to the outside. So we got it hooked in that way. Now it's got a fairly tight fit at the bottom. Same with the other card. So look underneath. It sticks out underneath and it needs a bit of coursing to come out. But there you go. So that should be no problem. You got space to spare there, but you wouldn't want to get much thicker than that. And the good thing is there is holes on the side for the exhaust of that fan, or I guess not exhaust, probably sucks in air that side. And we'll figure out those wires later. The good thing is this does have the old IDE connector, which will come in handy for that old school DVD burner that we have. So that'll be good for now. There we go. So really all that's left at this point is hard drives and the DVD drive. So here all I've done is hook up some power. I haven't put the hard drives in yet, but I do just want to test out the IDE 5 1/4 optical drive, and just to give it a power on test. There we go. Seems to be fine. The graphics card fan is going full tilt by the sounds of it, so I'm hoping that once we actually boot Windows or some kind of driver, it'll slow right down, because that's way too noisy for this kind of application. But anyway, there you go. Definitely the DVD drive is reading and going. It's doing something there. And we'll go from there and hook it up to a monitor and get the hard drive going and start installing an OS. But that's pretty well it. Pretty straightforward build. You know, clean up the cables and stuff like that, but anyone can put that together. And a great system to start with, because you don't have to, it's a little bit further ahead than just buying all the components individually. So all you need to do for this is get your CPU and RAM and your drives, and there you go. Anyway, we'll go to the next stage. So here we have the put together shuttle, more or less. You can see the graphics card, we already had that in before. And we've got the optical drive in there. It's just a plain DVD drive. IDE connector, you may not be able to see there. The hard drive is underneath, and we put the tray back on. So since putting that together, I've you know, installed windows and stuff like that, and it works really well. The only thing is this fan right here runs at 100% all the time. It's really noisy, so I'm going to try and figure out an alternative for that. Other than that, it's great. It's pretty quiet otherwise. Not sure if you can see the heart up in there. There's the power supply side there. So there we go, there's pretty well complete. Another cool thing is with the ATI overdrive, you can actually do sort of from Windows, you can actually overclock the CPU. So I was able to get it to about 3 gigahertz, you know, which is pretty good. Although it can run pretty hot, like you can feel the heat coming out of it. So there's our completed shuttle. From pretty well spare parts except for the shuttle case itself and the bare bones. This is the front side view. All complete. Now I'll probably replace that white colored optical drive with something else later on.